All right,
Damn,
I'll hit
I'm
you
on the
up
pod
after.
right now.
Yeah, low key. I might cut it out though.
Oh, that's
Well,
cool.
cut, just get a little snippet, like
Yeah,
a second or
just say
two.
something real quick.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all the podcasts worldwide. We're tapping in right here, right now. The sequence begins. Jan and Tyler, spit it out. I'm out.
All right.
Hey.
Beep. That's cool. That's a good way to start. I guess we're in now. We're in now.
Absolutely, 100%, 900% even.
9,000%. So we're in. You know what? This needed to happen. This needed to be done. I needed a guest for this week, and
Dude,
you wanted to be on.
I'm
so
always here. I would even love to. I know this is a little presumptuous of me. I would love to break beyond the role of guest.
Oh, that's what I need. I need another like show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm ready for that. I wanna dip in. I have been doing so much shit recently. You go and look at my calendar. There ain't a single free day anymore.
That's good though. In
Yeah.
a way.
It feels great.
Well, that's good. I mean, yeah, when you do a lot of shit, you don't have time to focus on yourself, maybe?
Well, no, I still do, definitely. Like I still allot time for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would consider that being busy. I'm not sitting there like twiddling my thumbs anymore in any regard.
Cut back the video games a little bit.
Yeah, no, not just a little bit. I get
good.
maybe 3 hours a week now.
Damn, that's actually good, dude.
Right? Yeah.
Honestly, if you cut it out altogether, that'd be great.
Yeah,
But I get you like the game.
I do love the game, but also like at this point I'm ready to give it up. I don't like I will return. I will definitely return, but like
So much more to work on.
right.
That's how I see it. Work on it. But I'll jump in and say you listened to the Whammo show where we talked about texting and shit.
Right.
It's kind of
yeah.
like an ongoing thing. And
Yeah.
you said you like agreed with what we were saying, or you were feeling it.
To a certain extent, yeah, it was.
I mean,
I just feel like a lot of people focus too much on like it's overcomplicated, honestly.
the digital aspect of it.
Yes, I just feel like if two people enjoy each other's company, shit will come naturally. It shouldn't be like, I need to text this person. I can't send them a second message twice, two messages in a row. Jeezel, can't send them two messages in a row. I need to wait this long before I reply. It's just human interaction should not be that.
It shouldn't. But I'm also in the boat where like you could do all of that, but send like 2 texts and just be done.
Right.
Because really, texting to me, it should just be like, yeah, I could text you. Like with the girls I'm talking to, I would be like texting them 3 times a day total.
Yeah.
But it's still like interested in them.
Yeah.
But you don't. What I've come to realize is there's no like text riz. It's just a tool to get them on the phone, and then the phone to get them on the date. I mean, you could always ask them out over text, but then they can overthink it and just kind of like they have too much time to think when they're on the text, whatever. But
yeah, both sides do.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I get what you're saying, but a lot of the online dating is all done through text pretty much, so it's like
that's why I don't fuck with it. I mean, I don't fuck with any kind of dating right now. I am not in a state of mind or life to even.
I feel that actually.
Not even coming close to it. I did download.
I want a date, but I don't want a relationship at the moment.
Right. I downloaded Bumble. I want to say about a month ago, and I had it for like an hour. Damn. I was in Chicago, and it made me feel gross. And then I came back home, and I downloaded it again, like maybe a few days later. I was like, maybe I just need to give it a second shot.
Yeah.
And then not only I'm just don't give a fuck, it still made me feel fucking rotten. And like, yeah, it's like you have to present yourself, and it feels phony, almost.
I've never had luck with those apps, but I will say most of mine come from Facebook dating. So if you haven't set that up,
I've been told that Facebook
one.
dating is like the trashy one.
I mean, it's Facebook.
Right. I deleted my Facebook. It doesn't feel.
Oh well, that's just that might be an issue.
My life has been a bit better since then.
I wanted to delete mine,
right?
But I kind of need it for stand up. It's like the only way to figure out what's going on.
Right.
get to talk to people too.
Yeah.
Which is nice, good and bad. But I'm sure we'll get into this stuff later. I wanted to see how your Chicago trip was going, though.
This most recent one.
Yeah. Where'd you go with your boy P?
Yeah.
Or he lives there?
Roadkill. I went and visited Roadkill.
Roadkill.
Yeah.
He's not just a letter.
Right. No one calls him that. That's
No one calls him Roadkill?
no one calls
P?
him P. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a thing
Is that his dead name?
in a way. I think I'm the only person who like calls him that where it's okay. And I don't even call him that anymore.
What kind of car does he drive? Is it a Scat Pack? Is that his car?
I don't know what that is.
It's
Was
like
it
a
Scat Pack?
Dodge?
No.
Dodge Challenger?
No.
I saw him driving one. I didn't know if that was his. And then I'm like, damn, if he has one, I got to get one.
No, I don't think. I can't remember. I was in it recently, and I just don't remember. But anyway, the trip was good. The drive to Chicago is actually pretty nice from Cincinnati. The drive back is dog shit. It is the most boring, just straight shot.
It was like a 10-hour drive.
No, it's only 5. Or, I'm sorry, 4-ish.
That's not
just
bad
depending
at all.
on traffic.
Yeah, comedians go there. They'll like come to Cincinnati for a night and just drive back.
Yeah,
So that's not bad at all.
I couldn't do it in one night, like there and back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still don't have the patience.
To a bar of,
behind
like-
the wheel.
to a bar of like 15 people. And then
Right.
just be like, all right, now I fucking just want to die.
Now I'm gonna fuck off.
Now I'm going back home.
Add another 200-ish miles onto my shit car. Yeah.
Jesus. I want to know what you want to talk about. I don't want to beat around the
I mean, I
bush.
can keep talking about Chicago for sure.
All right, let's talk about it.
I went to 2 Halloween parties. One of them was more of a birthday party. The other one was like a anyone show up kind of deal. It seemed that was fun.
So
Met some people.
Went for Halloween or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. I went as a vampire.
Nice.
I've dressed up as a vampire 3 times in October with varying degrees of effort. So like the first time I did it, I wore the whole ensemble. I had makeup done. I got blood on my mouth. I put
You have good
fangs
pictures
in.
of that.
Do I?
Yeah.
No. So that's a party where I didn't try as hard.
Mm.
So there was another party. So it was that party, and then I nixed the fangs because those are annoying as hell. And as soon as I get to the party, I'm eating something. So
That's true.
I had a different kind of makeup done, and then some girl at the party was like, "You're a vampire. You don't got blood on your mouth?" Because I didn't bother. I was like, "No, I don't." So she like grabbed some lipstick, and that's that picture that I put on Instagram.
Dude, that was a solid flex.
Yeah, and I was just like, I literally as they're walking away to go grab that makeup, I was like, I don't care, please, I don't care, but they insisted, so
Where's my vape?
let it fly.
I lost my vape.
Maybe that's a good thing,
It might be. I just bought it, and I bought it just for this,
right?
just so I could talk to you. I was sitting on it. I think this happened last time, but
Yeah, and we talked about how fucking people lose their mind.
yeah, dude, it's an addiction, but I don't have an addiction, and I'm glad.
I don't have an addiction. Takes a hit inside my home.
Oh yeah, can we vape it here?
Yeah, you can.
I've seen people just like light cigarettes and then just be like, "Oh wait, we can't smoke in here." Just like put it out. You would think you would ask first, but
Smoke hookah in here,
that's different. Yeah,
right?
I don't like hookah too much.
I don't do it very often, but I enjoy it from time to time.
Is there more about Chicago?
Went to my buddy. My bad. Yeah, I keep like drifting off of it. My buddy threw a birthday party for his girlfriend and went to that. That was pretty fun. That was a bit more.
So a couple parties is why you
That was a
were
bit more subdued. Yeah, for sure.
That's cool, dude, because I didn't go to any Halloween parties.
No,
How do you say it? Halloween or Halloween?
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween.
I hate Halloween. I'm like, shut up. That's Cameron for you. But that's solid. I did hang out with some boys.
Yeah, I heard you went to Vegas, right? Have you talked about
Oh,
that
yeah.
on Cast yet?
Did we do our last one before Vegas? I went to Vegas October 4th, so like literally a month ago.
Man, I think so.
I think our podcast was before Vegas. Dude, how did time pass so quickly?
Right?
What the
No,
fuck?
it definitely was because I texted you and I said I want to do it again, and you were like, "I'm in Vegas, can't."
Oh yeah. Literally got off the airplane in Vegas. I'm like, I'm down. Nah, yeah, you need to do that because like, I want to have all these people on and shit.
Right.
But I never hit them up.
But and then I'll be right there with you. You can put it on Musty World podcast featuring John Core, guest of whoever the fuck we drag on. I even if you need it, I can drag people on. I got some interesting people who might be up
dope.
to do it.
Anybody. Right now, I just have comedians. So
Right.
Those are my people for the moment. But Vegas was cool. I watched a lot of gambling addicts, aka my friends,
Right.
sit at slot machines and sort of just blow all their money, like all of their fucking money. And I sat back and watched. Honestly, it gets boring because you're there till like 6 a.m. and then you're just like tired, ready to just die. Plus, honestly, I don't like casinos at all. I think the best part of the Vegas trip was knowing that we were going to Arizona after. And that was where I kind of had the most fun, I think.
What'd you do there?
I just like the desert. There's a lot of Mexican women. That was
That's a plus.
That was the most fun of it, I think.
Yeah.
The Mexican women.
The area of Chicago that Roadkill lives in. Oh my god, my voice just fucking cracked.
It happens.
Yeah, I just hate when it happens. Anyway,
I didn't even notice it.
yeah, maybe the mic didn't pick it up, but the area that Roadkill lives in, I mean, like Chicago has a pretty big like Latin community, Mexican community.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, she's actually Latina. I was just like, she's a Mexican chick. I'm like, what are you? She's like, Mexican.
So you know how the whole movement with like people trying to make, instead of saying like Latino or Latina, they like try to like put an X at the end.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you pronounce that?
Latinx.
I hate that.
think.
That's so dumb.
It is dumb.
That's so dumb.
I don't get it.
Especially because like, as far as I can tell, there's a lot of people who hate that and would not want to be called that.
That's true. Isn't it kind of like the non-binary for Latino?
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit that just doesn't need to be. Simply put. But yeah, Arizona was way more lit,
Really? So what'd you do there?
dude.
Or did I already ask that?
I just like the heat. They have a different type of hot. I hate the cold weather.
heat. Everyone loves the dry heat, not the humidity.
That's all you hear is like humidity. Dude, I just love the desert. Like I want to be there right now. I don't like winter. I'm like fall. Just over that.
I was happy when the temperature started dropping, but then at one point it just dropped way too far, and I was like, please come back. Let's just reel it back up to maybe the lower 60s. I prefer that. Yeah. Like when I get up in the morning and it's 30 degrees outside, and I got to go scrape ice off the front of my car before I can go to work.
Dude, that's what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah, that's the downside to the colder weather, but I definitely enjoy being out in the colder weather more often than like in the heat.
I don't get it.
So I say that, but then again, I feel like my opinion changes depending on the season. So when it's hot, I'm like, I wish it was cold. And then when it's cold, I'm like, man, I wish it was hot.
It's kind of like when you're on vacation, you wish you were home a little bit.
Sometimes.
Then when you get back, you're like, fuck this.
Take me back. Right.
It's all lit.
Fucking dog shit.
Honestly, my main focus nowadays, dude, I told some guy I was smart last night, and he wanted to like, he got really angry at me.
Got angry at you.
I don't know if it was anger, but he got really like in my face about it, or what do you call that? Like, I don't know the word. He was in my face, and he's like, so what is that based on? How can you prove that you're smart or smarter than me? I'm just like, dude, I'm smart. But then I was like, you're luckier than me, though, because I know stuff that just makes me like depressed. And then I also, another thing, the main thing that I'm trying to ease into, because it's sort of like a deep topic.
Let's dive in.
But the last pod I did with my friend Jacques Roy, he sort of brought this up.
Right.
Just dealing with like relationships. And he was like, so what's your parents' relationship like? And I was just like, non-existent. And then he's like, what are your grandparents like? And I was like, not healthy. And then he's like, or we came to the point where I was like, there's no healthy base for me to like base my relationships off of. And then I started like looking into the psychology of, what do you call that? Attachment styles.
Yeah.
And kind of fucked me up because I almost definitely know this, that I have an anxious attachment style. I don't know if you know about it.
No, I don't. Like, illuminate.
It seems like therapy people would know this. I mean, I would feel like
Right?
I would feel like, so you went to couples therapy?
Yeah, but only for like 3 weeks.
That's
And
a long
then-
time.
Then she's like, is it?
Three
3
sessions.
sessions.
I would
don't
think they
that's
would
enough
cover
at
that.
all.
That's like the main thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how people don't know much about it, but so really there's like 3 attached, 4, but 3
Mhm.
kind of overlap. So there's the secure people, which I don't see too many of, but it's like they're okay in relationships. They're secure, they're strong, they don't overthink stuff, they're not anxious, you know.
Right.
They don't like hide anything. And then there's the anxious people who like overthink everything. Back on the texting thing, it makes that hard. It's like, why is she not responding? Why is she not responding? Where is she? Just super anxious in situations. There's so many scenarios. And then there's the avoidant people who sort of like want to just be dependent, like still in a relationship but be alone.
Right.
And after listening to this audiobook's like 6 hours, it fucking like clicked for a little bit. I gotta listen to it again. It clicked. I'm like, damn, I have anxious attachment style. That's why I act the way I do in each relationship. That's why I make friends with these types of people, and then I don't have too many friends. I'm like, but then it all goes back to like my parents, the way I saw a relationship built, the way I was taught to create one, in which I really wasn't. So the whole point is I'm trying to make myself secure, like rather than be insecure, anxious. So that's the new like path, and I just fucking figured this shit out like a week ago. And I'm just accepting it, but like it's a lot.
I can see how that works because like my relationship with my parents is really good, but
then their relationship too, like the fact that
you're
watching. But what you're saying is important, but also how you viewed your two parents.
Right. So I never thought of my parents' relationship as anything other than normal.
Mm-hmm.
My relationship with my parents is really good. I usually don't think to reach out to them as often.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see how that was reflected in my marriage and how like I gave 300% effort when I was there for it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was just doing my own thing, kind of, and I can see, like one of the biggest problems was I was focusing on myself way too much, and I wasn't giving her enough attention.
So in a way, I guess that would be like kind of avoidant, like you.
In a way, yeah. It's like it made sense to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I was finally like, when all of that was like brought before me, and I was ready to make the change, and like put in the work. And then she was just like, it ain't worth it anymore.
Yeah.
Womp.
No, it gets to that point. But
For sure.
I think once you like understand what is actually happening and why you do those things, you can sort of fix it. I mean, obviously it's too late, but
I'm
like,
I'm not gonna dive deep into like the details, but like I think I was avoiding it for a good reason.
Avoiding it because you thought it was just like, we're married, don't have to really try.
No, like I needed to.
Or you just wanted your own space?
I was getting there was like I was avoiding because I felt I said I didn't want to get into this, and now here I am.
I don't want to get into the marriage part of it, but I do
Right.
kind of want to break down the psychological pieces.
Yeah, I didn't feel liked. You know what I mean? I felt pushed away. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a
Talked
feeling
down on, emotionally
Yeah.
manipulated or abused.
Yeah, and I don't know the full story, and we don't have to do.
We
it
don't
on
have to
here,
do that, but yeah,
I have a feeling
I'm beyond it now.
I don't see too many like secure people in relationships.
No.
I don't
No,
like trying to. I know Cameron's totally anxious
right?
in his, and then me,
Is he still seeing that girl?
I'm anxious. I don't know. It's not like he's in a relationship, but the way he talks to these girls
Right.
and feels about it, like she didn't text me today, she didn't respond. Like he totally blocked a girl because she didn't text him for one day.
Oh,
Like, that's how
jeez.
he is. It's kind of like all or nothing, which is not good either.
Yeah.
But man, I wish I would have taken note. I sort of did, but there's just so much. It's kind of like so. The podcast, I'm trying to like come up with an identity for it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it
Yeah.
all revolves around sort of like psychology. I mean, that's the only thing that's the base for everything. Psychology
Right.
of this, psychology of that.
It would be nice. I mean, like you could only give layman's like
Yeah.
perspective. Be nice to
Right.
have like a professional on.
Hmm?
But then again, I feel didn't Joe Rogan do that a shit ton? Or
Yeah.
They're similar.
We could get a professional on,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also like learning about it, almost like
Right.
studying it.
Okay.
Not saying I could become a professional. I don't want to go to school, but I want to like it's like a side mission.
Yeah, I
for
got
me.
you. I got you.
So if I do that, then what the fuck was I just gonna say? Okay, I'm like the I'm like the crackhead version of Jordan Peterson, basically. That's how I see it. But the whole point was I'm trying to figure out like what the message is here, and I kind of want to drive it toward like because our target audience would probably be like young guys.
Right.
So I'm going to try and drive it to like a more masculine, make
long-
people more masculine kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Not all
I'm-
the way red pill, but like
Yeah, I'm down for it. Definitely. If you want to be masculine, then lean into being masculine. It's
yeah.
a good thing. It's not a
I think
horrible
we're
thing.
missing it. That's why I want to like
Right,
talk
right.
about it
Right. Yeah.
as society.
As long as we don't fall into the like, man, when you're looking for a woman, you gotta be in charge of them. You gotta control them. I've seen dudes talk like that, and that shit's
In a way, I kind of agree with it.
oh yeah.
Well, someone has to be in control. There's one person in control in a relationship.
I mean, definitely you can have someone lead. I don't know if saying in control is
One person
a
has to be
proper
the
way
adorer,
to say
and one
it.
person has to be adored.
yeah.
Like there can't be two. And so you're making a sacrifice if you're letting the girl adore you, because then it's just like you're sitting there, you're the prize now.
Right.
But if you're the adorer, you're super emotionally invested, and then you can get hurt. And that's
was
when you
me.
become attached. I can feel that.
Yeah.
But people don't like know this shit. They don't go into a relationship with these tools. And that's why I know I'm totally not ready for one, but that's why I'm learning this shit so I can become ready for one, you know?
I
'Cause
remember
that's what life's about.
I remember listening to. I think you said it on Wamagonzo. There was a while where I was working. I was just listening to
Yeah.
Musty World Wamagonzo. Blah blah blah.
Hell yeah.
Back and forth. You said something about wanting to get back into your faith or like lean back into your faith.
Yes.
So
That's the same thing too. Like the meaning of life. Girlfriend, get married, have kids.
right. Yeah.
Do it all with the God aspect to it.
Yeah. So I've been getting back into it. I've been going back to church
That's good,
by
yeah.
myself, and
Yeah.
then I've come in contact with this girl who's been helping me a lot with basically integrating into the community is what it seems like she's guiding me into.
What is she, like a Christian?
She's Catholic.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm Catholic through and through.
Yeah, I've gotten back to church too, and I spoke with my grandma. And she's like, "You need to find yourself a nice girl from like a little." She said youth group, but she didn't mean youth group.
Right.
I'm not fucking.
Did you ever go to a youth group?
I look at Catholic school as kind of like one
That's
big
fair.
youth group.
I never did. I
But
went to
no,
public school and
I
never
did.
joined any kind of youth groups or anything.
They sort of force you into it in a way.
Right. Have you been going back to Saint?
St. Dominic.
Yeah, I didn't know if
No.
you wanted me to drop that on there.
It's just a church.
Oh, we already dropped our locations anyway.
Yeah. No, I've actually, well, on my side of town, there's a couple churches I went to.
Dude, your side of town is where it's at, though,
It's
for it.
fucking nicer.
Everything, this, like, the west side is the retirement village for Catholics in general. I was
Yeah.
at St. Dominic. It was all old people.
Oh,
All old.
And it usually is, though, because, like, young people sort of don't go to church.
Right. Well, all the young people are on the east side.
Hmm.
That's what it seems like.
I don't know.
I went to All Saints Day Mass, and it was packed. And I was at Gertrude's.
Yeah, I don't think I've been to that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, IHM,
IHM.
Immaculate Heart of Mary.
That's
There's
a church.
couple of them, yeah. They do a Spanish Mass.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to bring a Spanish girl to the Spanish Mass.
So
start a family.
So my family on my dad's side, we descend from Maronite Catholics. I consider myself ethnically a Maronite Catholic. I wouldn't consider myself actually one just because I don't go to
Yeah.
their church. There is a church in Cincinnati that is Maronite, and I want to go. The liturgy's all in Arabic.
That's dope.
Yeah, I don't know a lick of Arabic. I really should. I know more Japanese than I know Arabic.
Damn. There's like too much out there that I want to know more about the Bible and about the church. I feel like I don't know enough from, like, I could tell the stories, but like what they really mean.
If you're trying to get involved, you should just come with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should do it.
Right.
Bro it out.
Bro it out. Crusaders, brothers in arms.
Dude, it has kind of that, like, it sounds cringe, but like I think that's what we need to do.
That churches used to be cornerstones in communities because it was a gathering of the community too.
Yes.
Yeah. We've lost that.
We're losing
We've lost
it, bro.
that.
There's so much like evil out there that takes you away from going to church,
Right.
or even thinking of God. And this is good. I surrounded myself with a bunch of like God-fearing men, and that's important.
Yeah. It's definitely a different feel. I mean, like, I surround myself with like good amount of friends on my armored combat team are pagan. But honestly, I'd rather be around someone who believes in something than be around people who believe in nothing.
That's true. It's a fine line. I don't know too much about pagan people, but it's a fine line because there's like, are you worshiping Satan?
Very true. I don't participate in any of their stuff, but
Yeah, I'm trying to. Like,
I definitely like to wear my Catholicism on my sleeve. Like, you know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to hide it.
So I wear the Maronite cross on my breastplate. So
Fuck yeah, dude.
yeah.
That's what we need. So that we're gonna figure this shit out. This is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be God. We're not gonna be out here fucking bitches, right?
I'm definitely not.
I'm not, but we don't have to get into that. God, just basically follow the commandments and all that stuff.
Yeah, be a good
The
person. We go to church.
Be good at church.
And then go to church.
Oh yeah.
Be a part of the community.
And then, honestly, I see it as like we're fighting against evil. That's how I see it.
In a way, for sure.
Everything is a war to me.
So now that since we've been talking about faith and religion, I was talking to some people at church about this. What do you think about the whole, like, just things in general regarding supernatural or the supernatural?
Well, I feel like the church believes in supernatural
Yeah.
spirits.
So, like, I mean, like, but have you had any supernatural experiences? Because
No,
I've got plenty
and
to talk
I pray
about.
that I never do, honestly.
Would you like to hear some? I've got a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
That's why you're here.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Not all of them are my stories. I can tell mine. My favorite one to tell is that when I was a sophomore in high school, my brother, two of my cousins, and I go out to West Virginia State Penitentiary.
Ooh.
We take a tour, and then at sundown they just let us loose and let us explore. So I go down into the boiler room. The boiler room is where the warden's pet was. This place was on Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters and whatnot. So
Yeah. Pet.
if you want to look at it, like, watch one of those episodes, people listening. And Go down into the boiler room. The warden's pet was, and he died down there because
What kind of pet?
Huh?
What kind of pet is it?
Like he
Person?
was a snitch. Sorry.
Their pet is a
It was
person.
a dude. It was a dude who got to live down there because he snitched on people and whatnot. He got special treatment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I should have definitely explained that way better. Anyway, so people would go down there and they'd get a lot of activity from him. I go down there with one of my cousins and some other dude on the tour, and we're just getting nothing. I'm sitting in the corner where you're supposed to get the activity, and finally I was just like, hey, I heard that you were a snitch and like you told on a lot of people.
Bro.
That makes you a bitch. Snitches get stitches. And I got
Bro.
growled at.
No.
Yeah.
You heard a growl?
Yes, I heard a growl. I was like sitting down, it was to my right. It growled at me from like a darker part of the corner. So I stood up and I was like, all right guys, I'm walking out. I walk upstairs, and I usually don't tell this part, but I turned, looked up at the window, and there was a shadow staring at me through the window. What the fuck? Right?
Bro, this is like giving me goosebumps every time I like listen to this shit.
All right, we went into the psych ward. It was up on the top floor, and I like we were getting nothing, and I was like, "Hey, if you're here, fucking do something." And right above me, something just slammed like in the ceiling. There was like a bunch of shit hanging from the ceiling. Something slammed, almost put me on my ass. My cousin was in the room they called the sad room because you go in there and like you just feel real sad out of nowhere. Something flipped his hat off.
No.
Right off of his head. Yep.
I would not fuck with that.
I know, like the part that actually like made me jump and freak out the most were mannequins. I'm in the dark. I move around and I look down to the floor below, and there's like these caveman mannequins for like their Halloween thing that they do there, and it made me jump, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a caveman.
Piss myself.
Yeah, right.
You like that stuff though, like you like to sort of egg on the spirits.
No, I don't know what was up with me. I don't do that. I'm not a fan of.
Bro, what if because they
I'm
can
not
get
a fan
attached to you,
right?
they can come back with you.
I don't know
dude.
why I was into it like that. I am definitely not now. I mean, like speaking with the dead is a sin. It's a taboo.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Right.
That's not something I would want to do.
Right.
From because I don't want it to like be attached to me, and come back with me,
Mm-hmm.
and then my life is forever just fucked.
Like it's interesting, and I mean, like I definitely am interested enough to like see activity, but I'm not going to communicate.
Yeah.
I'm not communicating.
Yeah, you always want to see it, and then when it happens, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, he was like, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not ready for this.
It's like going and looking for car crashes.
Yes.
Speaking of, I don't know if I told this on the last podcast, but I was driving. I went to go get myself a scoop of ice cream from Grader's because I was feeling like I needed a treat, you know?
Yeah.
So I got my vanilla cone in hand. I'm about to pull out of the driveway or the parking lot. Light's green and something stops me. I just hit the brake. I don't move forward. 2 cars head on collide right in front of me.
What the fuck?
Right. If I would have moved forward, they would have sandwiched me. I could have died. And they got wrecked.
That's God, I think.
Yes, probably. I'd say so. Pull over. I go into a nearby driveway to call the police. Some dude already sprinted out and was calling, so I was like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Woman had to be in her 80s. Gets out of the fucking car, not hurt. She's walking around.
Just being old and tripping, like, oh, what the fuck happened?
Oh my goodness.
Probably on medication.
Did I
too.
do that?
Yeah, old people shouldn't be driving, period. Yeah. But
Trying to think of I've had, I don't know if this is exactly a paranormal event, but I did wake up one time and I had sleep paralysis.
Ooh.
I'm on my back.
Fuck.
And I'm like, all right, something's not right. And I was sleeping in my parents' basement at the time. And I could hear 2 voices talking. One was feminine and one was really deep. Talked like this.
What the
And like it sounded like gibberish for the longest time, and then finally I heard the deep voice say complete, and my everything in my body was screaming like to get up or to get away. And I said a prayer.
Dude, it fucked you.
I said a prayer and calmed myself down. I finally got to move. I went straight upstairs, and I thought maybe I was like, it's probably just my parents talking in the kitchen because you can hear from the kitchen from there. And I go upstairs. The only person who is who's at the home is my sister on the second floor, and she's been in her room the whole day. She was like napping or something. And yeah, and I came in and was like, Molly, please tell me Mom and Dad were home and just talking. And she's like, no, they've been gone all day.
Okay, I'm moving out.
Yeah, right.
Did you go back down in the basement after that?
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely become less scared of all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if
If you're confident in your faith,
yeah, that's what
there's
it is.
nothing to be scared of.
If you're praying it off, it's like God's got your back in
Right.
that. Man, deep shit.
You want to hear a crazy one? Like I got two more. One's short, one's got some time on it.
Yeah.
So these are both my dad's stories. They're both dreams. So my grandfather died 2009, and every now and again my dad will have dreams like about him. And one of the dreams, gosh, this is about to be a two-parter. So one of the dreams, he's just in this crowd, and there's so many people, almost like Times Square crowded. Mm-hmm. And he sees a guy through the crowd who's staring directly at him. And my dad's just standing there, and this guy just starts moving. He starts swimming through the crowd, beelining straight for my dad. And he finally gets up in my dad's face, and he goes, "Your dad watches you."
What the fuck?
And my dad woke up. Like later, he has another dream where he's sitting on a bus, and my grandfather is talking to him, sitting beside him and talking to him. My dad's just listening for a while, and he stops. He goes, "Hold on, how are you talking to me right now?" He's like, "You're dead. You passed on. How are you talking to me?" He said, "My grandpa just laughed," and then my dad woke up. Okay. Now,
see, the dreams are more just like, yeah, dreams are weird. It's like you got to interpret those how you see them.
Right. And so the last one was a family friend came to us, and I won't use a lot of the details in it, but she had a family member who passed, and was asking my dad if he thought, like, given all the details, if they would go to hell or not, or like go to heaven or hell. And my dad's like, "I don't have the authority to tell you that. Like, that's not my." Yeah, he's like, I can't make that judgment. Later that night, my dad has a dream where he is sitting at a table, and there is like a man, a really tall dude, standing in the corner in the dark. There's a radio and a microphone in front of him. Coming out of the radio is the voice of that family friend's relative, talking like a mile a minute, just shouting and whatnot. My dad's trying to listen. He's trying to talk in the microphone, like, "Calm down, like I'm here, like, talk to me." Mm-hmm. And my dad leans in and goes, "Are you in the light?" And the dude in the corner moves toward my dad and gets in his face, and he's like pissed. And my dad's like, he's like, "I asked a question I shouldn't have." And then he woke up. It's like, I saw it as you're not supposed to talk to the dead.
Yeah. Dude. Your dad tells you all this stuff?
Yeah.
That is interesting. I don't even know how to, like, because with dreams,
Right.
So it's hard.
Because, like, you can look at it as either you can interpret it. You can interpret dreams. You can also look at it as, like, dreams usually are just random.
Yeah.
Could
have just been something that was on his mind, and then it just popped up.
Exactly. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Brain's confusing.
I think Freud says a lot about dreams, or one of those people.
Really?
And he's pretty much like figured out humans, like, each step of the way.
Freud had a lot of like shit when it came to like psychosexual shit, but I didn't know he talked about dreams.
I believe so, and that was like his stigma was like he was the sexual guy, and then so everyone's like, "Oh, he's a weirdo, don't believe him."
I mean, he do be kind of a weirdo
in a way, but he's fucking. We all say his name for a reason. Like he did something for the psychological world. Whether he was a fraud of Freud, the fraud of some sort, but him and then Carl Jung, those are the two like big ones.
Yeah, Pavlov.
Yep, Pavlov and his dogs.
Right. Who was the one who did the wire monkey and the cloth monkey?
I know what you mean.
It's like the wire. It was a wire monkey mom that gave food, but then there was
Yeah.
the blanket monkey mom that didn't give food.
See, these are all topics I would love to know more about, so we could speak
Right? Yeah,
on. Them.
I took AP psychology, and I'm just
Yeah.
blanking
That-
on it
that's
all
how I-
right now.
That's how I know those because I took a few in college. But a lot of what I do is like too much comedic, too much sort of red pill, just like say fucked up shit to mainly to get clips out of it.
Right.
So then when it comes to like talking about the real shit, I'm just kind of like, I want to get into it, but I don't know how to like break it down.
Yeah, something I wanted to ask you actually is that every time we've had a podcast, like I mentioned in the last one, you made a clip out of it, that a big change happens.
Yeah.
Usually every time we podcast. Have you had a big change recently?
Just a change of mind, I guess.
I feel that. Definitely feel that. I mean, like, I'd say getting back and like focusing and honing in more on my faith and in the
Yeah.
church. That's definitely a big move.
That was the big change.
for sure.
Yeah.
I took a trip to Houston, I'm pretty sure, after our last podcast. Yeah, because it would have been the beginning. It would have been before October 4th. I went October 12th. So, yeah, I went to Houston, Texas. That was fun.
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
I want to fucking go there.
went to the Ren Fair down there, biggest in the country.
Fuck, I want to go to Texas, dude.
Yeah, it's slick.
Yeah, I think the trip is what did it. Was set it all into motion coming
Right.
back.
It's definitely nice. Japan's coming in December. That'll
Yeah.
be
Fuck, that'll be sick.
wild.
Yeah, I
I'm
viewed a
excited
lot.
for it.
I viewed a lot of evil in the places I went, especially Vegas. There's just
Oh,
like a
it's Sin
unsettling.
City, you know what I mean?
Literally, just like I was in the fucking strip club talking to a stripper, and I'm just like, "You are going to hell," like that kind of thing, or just like telling her like, "I shouldn't be here." There's something unsettling about
Right?
this
Like,
place.
I mean, like, I don't think you should adopt the whole like, look at this person, and be like, you're going
no,
to
I
hell.
know
I mean,
that's
like,
the wrong way to do it.
yeah, it's definitely the wrong way to do it, and it's not really like.
It was also
The
she was
way-
kind of annoying me, and it was late.
Ah, gotcha,
And I was
gotcha.
just like, I didn't know how else to put it. And she's like, "Yeah, baby, I'm first in line." I'm just like, okay.
I just mean like, yeah, that's definitely the one problem that I think older generations have is like being. I mean, I'm all for being fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
But like, you're never gonna. Yeah, like what you want as many people to be saved as possible.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that by like chastising people and like
Totally.
shaming them and stuff. Never.
And I don't want to do that.
Right,
It
right,
just
right.
comes out.
Yeah.
But the thing I was told by my grandma, she's like, just tell people, like, I'll pray for you. And then just leave it at that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I'll pray for you. And they could view that however they want to.
Honestly, like, and like I feel like a lot of people scoff at that, but like when someone says that to me, and obviously I would feel this way because I am a believer. It hits.
Yeah.
Like it's nice
It's like,
to
please do.
Yeah, that and like it's just nice to know that there's people thinking about you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Man, I'm not going to lie. I do pray for all my friends like pretty much every night.
Right.
I just add in everyone that I think about, and then powerful thing.
Yeah, I usually find myself I'll pray right before I go to bed every night. At least most nights. I feel like sometimes I skip it. I'm not thinking about it, unfortunately. I find myself like rattling off just a list of names at one point.
Yeah, I think that sort of ties back into my weird relationships with friends. So it's like I'm over here quietly praying for you, but I'm also like not reaching out to talk to you. It's like it's weird.
Yeah,
Like
I
I'm
mean,
thinking about you. but
nobody's perfect.
I'm trying to be. I think that's the thing. But I have a lot of good friends. I would include you.
Yeah.
And like you guys reach out, and it seems like you all have friends and you have stronger bonds with people. And I don't feel like I'm the greatest just because I don't tell people like how. I don't show people that I care enough.
Yeah, I can tell you in regards to our relationship that you don't need to. I think some people do need that. I know where we stand. You know what I mean? Especially like in the past, some things said had like strained our relationship due to other people viewing you negatively.
Oh yeah.
But like I I didn't let that, like, even when they would like bitch to me about you, I didn't let that.
What, for hanging out?
Yeah, yeah.
Back when I was just on like
when
what,
you were just saying some stupid shit, and I
being
was like,
racist?
and I was like, that's my friend. He's like,
Yeah.
I would be doing a disservice if I gave up on you like that and just like cut
Yes.
you out of my life. Because like, look where you are now.
I've come a long way from that point.
Right,
Honestly,
right.
I wouldn't want to be around that guy. I wouldn't want to be friends with that guy.
Understandable, but like, you know, some people, you know, it's nice to have friends who stick it out with you, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thankful to have Jimmy. I've known him literally my entire life, and like, in a lot of my friends, like, and like that you even went to school with, like they've been in they've been in my life just as, or not just as long as Jimmy, but like since I've met them. Which I know quite a few people who don't have their childhood friends anymore, or really that
That's
many
really
at
all I got is like the people from school or high school.
Yeah.
And then now the comedy friends are my new friends. And
Right,
so
right.
now they're like teaching me how to be friends. Like the dude who was on my last podcast, like he's somehow like a super good friend. He knows how to like check in on you, all this stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to be more like that. I need to just be like, hey, I don't know. He said he likes to hug and say I love you a lot, and I'm just like,
That's how I am with my Armored Combat guys. I've known them for like 2-ish years, but they are like I'd bleed for them. I bleed for them anyway.
I bleed for my brothers. I just can't
Yeah.
say it. I just can't say the word. You know, makes me feel kind of gay.
What, brothers?
No, like just be like, I love you too, man.
Yeah.
Because when they say it, like, oh, now I have to say it back. Fuck.
I feel like at one point there's no. I definitely don't have any shame in saying it, because like
Yeah, you shouldn't.
when you are there for someone and when they're there for you, it's just like, you know, the relationship changes that way. It's like these guys I've known for 2 years, I would call my brothers within a heartbeat.
For sure, that's how I see it. Brothers.
And men need relationships like that.
Yes.
Yeah, men need strong masculine bonds.
Masculine relationships. Yes.
Exactly, dude. Like, that's why I feel like as much as I love these jokes, even though they're fucking dark, and like I've definitely been and deal with thoughts like this, but like when I see people on Instagram all the time, their comments are like, dude, the sexual tension between me and the barrel of this 12 gauge shotgun.
What the fuck?
Like, right? And I was
What
like,
does that
it's like, that looks like someone who doesn't have people there for them.
Yeah.
And there's a
You
lot.
always
People-
got that one bro.
Right. Yeah.
Me and
like,
bro.
and like even when like you try to be there for them, there's another thing is that you got to let people in too.
Let him in. Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of men, probably on the younger side too, who they value having a relationship above everything else. So that like a romantic relationship, so they will shut out every other kind of relationship and suffer because of it. They choose to suffer because all they want is that romantic relationship. We both mutually know someone who's like that.
Yeah. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, and it's torturous and it ruins your life.
I would say that's more of the anxiously attached people.
I'd say so, yeah.
But
they're like, without a romantic partner, I am nothing.
yeah,
And like
their whole life, you can't like make your life about the relationship.
Right. And I kind of felt that way when my relationship was falling apart, but like I took a step back and I took a breath and I was like, I still have this life, you know what I mean? I still do all this shit.
Yeah.
So like I didn't really like, I don't think I invested, maybe I didn't invest enough, because I have so much invested in things still, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's a good thing. I think
say like 99% of a relationship is you just constantly working on yourself, and then that shows in the relationship.
Yeah.
At least that's what I believe. I actually have a couple notes written on it. I don't know if I need to pull them up quite yet.
It's always nice to reflect on yourself. You should keep doing that, because I feel like if you don't, that's when the narcissism kicks in.
Well, like you can't just focus on her all the time. You gotta
that too. Yeah.
If you want to bring it back to like ancient times, right? You had to leave your home and go fucking kill a buffalo and bring it back.
Right.
So yeah, you care about the woman, but you have to leave and go kill the buffalo. And she can be like, "I miss you. Why aren't you texting me?" It's like, "Bitch, if I text you, you're cutting into my time of killing the buffalo, which is keeping us both alive here.
Right.
That's just my view on it now.
I think that's a very simplistic, easy way to break it all down to a base level.
That's why I like to keep it simple like that, so you
And
can grasp
I definitely believe that relationships can work. There it goes again.
Dude, honestly, if you just power through it, you don't even notice it.
Can work. But relationships can work. That don't exactly fit that bill, but like I definitely think that it's better to use an example that fits the majority than to try to use an example that covers every single possibility.
I still think we're at heart those type of like hunter-gatherer humans. Like we just have more advanced society now.
Yeah, that just made me think about like inclusivity shit. Is like people are so mad that there isn't an absolutely perfectly equal representation of every situation and circumstance. But the thing is, a lot of these circumstances and situations and whatnot that they are demanding are things that are not that common. So why would we push so hard to make said things as common? So like
What things?
So let's just say like we'll break this really simple, like a sword and a shield. This movie has a sword and a shield. And people are like, well, axes are used sometimes, but let's say the reality is that axes were used 10% of the time. Axes are used 10% of the time in real life. So why would you try to make 50% of the weapon usage in movie axes? How does that work? You know what I mean? Like you should be probably, if it were right, you'd be only seeing 10% of movies have axe and shield instead of sword and shield. I'm using a really weird example, but
what's the sword and shield example though? Like,
so like that is the majority. That's the other 90%.
Sword and shield's a good symbol for a lot of things. Like to me, it means like you're protecting the girl with the shield, and you're also like going out and fighting with the sword. You know?
Yeah.
So like you're protecting. There's so many ways to look at it. Like okay, you could say like the shield or the sword is your future. You're just like constantly just piercing through, and then the shield is the past or the present. The present.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. But like what I was trying to say is like, obviously, people would be like, well, what about the relationships that aren't a shield guarding the woman and whatnot? But it's like, well, if we're talking in the circumstance I had presented, if 90% is sword and shield, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to like put this extra special microscope, or we're not going to put the axe and shield under a microscope, because not only is that just not the reality for us, it's a reality for way more people. You know what I mean? Or way less people than the sword and shield.
I think the axe and the sword are actually probably like the same thing.
Right. I'm just saying that an axe is not a sword. Maybe we're not like in the same mindset here, or like not in the same point on this topic.
It's just the symbolism, because you're like axe versus sword, but to me that's kind of like the same.
Because you're thinking weapon.
Yeah.
Weapon and shield.
Kill.
Yeah. Right. I do prefer axes.
You like to swing.
Well, ultimately,
you gotta swing both.
Ultimately, I prefer maces. In Boohurt, I like to use it's technically a single-handed mace, but we call it a hand and half because you can use it in two hands. It's long enough to use in two hands, and I really like that. And most of the time, I don't even swing. I just I like push up and then just use it to grapple.
It's funny because I'm thinking of these as like symbols, but you're literally out there using swords and fucking hitting people with axes and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, but that's like a metaphor for life in itself, what you're doing there. I mean, you could come up with one on your own.
Did I ever tell you the story about how I hit someone so hard in the back of the head that they just fell to the ground?
I think so, yeah. How did that make you feel?
It was like a blur, kind of, because at that point,
so much happening.
I was trying to pull him down to the ground. Well, it was only me, a teammate, and that guy left. So like I tried to pull him down, and he slipped out, and he started moving away from the edge of the started moving away from the rail. So I just, cocked back and just sent that axe head towards the back of his head. I put a lot of ass behind it.
Yeah.
And that's why it was kind of like a blur. I was just like whipped it. And I just remember hitting him and seeing him go to the ground.
Yeah, it's basically like tackled.
Yeah, I didn't knock him out, but
Yeah.
the force definitely sent him to the ground. I don't think I knocked him out.
That's another thing too, is make yourself like a dangerous person, like a warrior. Because really, you have to protect yourself and your family, whatever that is.
Right. Dude,
So martial arts.
I will tell you
But
this.
what you're doing is good
Living
too.
alone. I mean, it is martial arts.
Okay.
Like, that's part of the training.
That makes it easier to
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Now that I live alone, sometimes I just wish someone would break in.
Mhm.
Yeah. I may get shot, but like,
That's the thing. Motherfuckers got guns.
yeah. No, they won't face me hand to hand.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you're a bitch.
I gotta grab my gun and I gotta
Yeah.
fucking shoot them. So,
It's like, you're a bitch.
right.
I need a gun now. Because everyone's got a gun.
Well, I mean, given the way that this apartment works, I
If I were
think a gun might be invalidated, and like maybe not if I'm all the way down the hallway and they're on the other side, but like,
I don't know, bro. If they got a gun, you have to have a gun.
well, I'm talking about like if we're talking about like turning corners. I mean, like you see all the corners in this apartment, super
Yeah.
tight. So I mean, like,
Unless you
a
can
lot of
disarm
times-
them somehow.
yeah, you'd have to get the jump on them.
Exactly. Like, if I live alone, I like it. That's what I need is a gun.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
You can't fight a gun, bro.
Yeah. You gotta at least have a sidearm.
And that's another part of the protection arsenal. Protect your family.
Right,
Now
right.
you need a gun.
Yeah.
You don't want to use it, but definitely want to have
Of course
it.
not. No one should be happy about taking a life,
Nah, but I'd tell you, if someone broke into my shit,
but being willing to, yeah.
I might hit him in a leg or like scare him
You
with
ever,
a couple
you ever
shots.
heard of it's like a revolver? They call it the Judge.
Yeah.
It's
a
use,
big-ass
use
gun,
little
isn't it?
shotgun shells.
Isn't it a big revolver?
Yeah, it's a bigger revolver because it's
Almost
got
like a
shells as
Magnum.
as its rounds.
Yeah, dude, I think my friend just bought a Judge.
They're sick.
Yeah.
They're sick.
They'll fuck you up. I mean, you get what, like 6 shots?
Roughly.
That's the thing you gotta think about too. Is 6 gonna be enough? That's why
It depends on the situation you're in,
I'd just rather have a Glock.
right?
What, like 30 shots or something? Then it's like semi-auto. I don't know. It all depends, dude. Because like, who's coming for you? You know.
Right.
That's why you don't want to be a target.
You don't want to be a target. You want to hope that you never have
don't
to
wanna
even
make
draw
yourself
your
a target.
weapon. You know what I
I
mean?
made myself a target last night just by being funny.
What do you mean? What'd you do?
Like the story I told you about. I said I was smarter than the guy.
Oh, right,
He-
right, right.
He got real like combative. I think that's the word. And anyways, he was like, just now he's directed all at me. Like he needed an answer. He wanted
Right.
to know, why are you smarter than me? And my friends were there too, and they were like, dude, you just put a target on your back.
Yeah.
But it's a learning experience.
I met
Now I'm
the-
not gonna do that.
I met
shit.
this guy at a dinner.
But I was
once.
trolling.
I met this guy at dinner once. He at one point he's explaining something. He just turns to me and goes, he's like, I mean, like, no offense, but like, I'm probably smarter than you. And I like just
People
looked at
get
him and-
really offended by
yeah,
that.
yeah, and then they're just like, it came off super arrogant.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm probably smarter than you. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you work at a fucking grocery store. Fuck you.
It's just too
You're not
intricate.
using those smarts effectively, I guess.
But when you say you're smart, it's like you're smart at what though? It's like a few
Right, right.
things.
Like when people tell
Can't be
me
everything.
I'm smart, but like I don't really.
Yeah, same with me. Like
Yeah.
I do computer work. They're like, "Oh, you're smart."
Right?
Like,
Yeah. It's like okay.
I'm good at
sure.
computers. They're like, "No, you're smart." Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I just smart's a vague term at this
It's
point.
it's super vague. It's a weird one. Cuz then like, okay, well, prove you're smart. Okay, well, how do I do that?
Yeah.
Now do I go get you like my college diploma or my scores, like my numbers? What? How do you prove it? And then that's just like, well, you're
Right.
good at school. You can't really prove you're smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart is being like God, I think.
Yeah,
You're everything.
Yeah. You can't just be like I'm smart. Here's how I prove it. It's more like the situation
Yeah.
will illuminate that you are smart in this regard.
Yeah, you just have like insight into certain
Something I
things.
wanted to think about before. I thought about it, and I don't want to forget it. I wanted to give a shout out to Jordan. Jordo. I wanted to apologize because I
Jordo.
did not tell him about this,
Yeah.
but I wanted I wanted this one to be a different vibe.
Guarantee he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to podcasts, so
Really?
he'll never listen.
You think,
I don't know.
You think Jordejo does not listen to
I don't
this?
think he does. But I will say he probably was busy, so I'll just assume he was
Yeah,
busy.
I mean,
He's always
dude
doing
dude
shit.
also lives far away now, so.
Yeah. We'd like to have him.
Of course.
He's still part of the brotherhood.
Yeah, there are many more Sick to Death casts on the horizon. I can definitely see them.
Infinite amounts.
Hell yeah. Who is there someone that you've...
I'm going to just pull up notes to refresh my brain.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead.
Is there someone who you haven't had on the podcast yet that you've really wanted on the podcast?
As far as like a friend, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, like, I could think of a bunch of celebrities I want on the podcast.
I got all of my friends.
Damn.
So far.
How
least on one.
long has it been since you've had Mark on?
Yeah, he's one too I got to reconnect with. It's been probably a year or two.
Especially if we're jumping back in, if you're getting back into the faith. And I don't know if
he
he's
could help me out. He's like Christian. He's not Catholic. But.
I mean, you still got someone who...
Oh, he fucking will die about his faith, dude. He's
right.
Probably the most into it than anyone I know.
Is he one? I know, like, not all denominations don't focus on it, but like, is he a denomination that like reveres Mary?
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know exactly. He goes to Nazarene Church of Nazarene. I don't know what it is, honestly. No, he's totally...
Those damn Protestants.
He's totally a Bible guy.
I gotcha.
So, all of that stuff. But he's got some weird, like, stigma on Catholic faith. I don't remember what it is.
Oh.
But yeah, he's...
Listen, you can be mad that it's the true, like, Christian faith.
Yeah, it's the one.
It's the one.
Dude, we are the one.
Oh. Yeah, I'd like to be on with him. Him and Cameron...
Yeah.
Are like my top two to be on the cast with.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, you brought up Cameron. I'm thinking about him, like, as far as keeping him around as a friend. He used to be a fucking drug addict,
right.
And I wanted to just totally cut him out because he was serving me no purpose. So now he's like totally the other way, and I'm just like, holy shit, dude.
Like,
I'm
you glad that you hung on.
Glad I hung on, but I'm just grateful that he's like got a fucking clear mind,
right.
And he's just good because he'd be on fucking heroin.
Last time
right
I
now.
saw him, I think he was still in that pit
or the in between phase maybe.
Yeah, it was when he was definitely drinking.
Okay. Was it at Fogarty's?
It was at Fogarty's.
Yeah, he was. That's when he was on Xanax.
I still have that video where like I'm just like recording. He just keeps going, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tyler, where you at? Yes, sir."
Dude, those were not good times at all.
Right.
That's when I met him, and then I found out like he was just drugs.
How did you meet him?
Xanax. Through one of my high school friends that met him through landscaping. So they worked together, and then he went to Oak Hills. Cameron, so it's kind of funny. All the girls I ever dated are like public school girls. A lot of the new friends I'm making are public school people.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that last week. I'm like, I'm Catholic private school. This is what I am. This is who I am. And then there was people all around me, and I'm like, these people are so different. They're just different in every way. They're public school kids. They went to like 4 different schools and 5 whatever. They're just so different.
Something I noticed is that like anyone that I know, for the most part, that went to a West Side Catholic private school, aren't Catholic anymore, or at least not practicing.
They're probably alcoholics.
It's crazy. I think the churches over here are kind of failing younger people.
It's not the church though.
I think it is in some regard.
I don't see the church.
Maybe not exactly the church, but like the schools, that too. Like, I don't. There's got to be something. If all of them,
bro, it's the evil pulling them away.
Right.
That's what it is. Whether that be like online, just media in general.
The church should be able to help guide though at some point. You know what I mean? You have to, but then again, like I had said before, you have to put the effort in. You have to lean into it.
You have to have that change of heart. Like,
you
it has
can't
to
just
hit you.
You can't just sit there and expect it save you, and like there's going to be obstacles. I mean, like the Catholic Church definitely has had its share of controversies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, having like, but the faith should be what keeps you, not like, not the being convinced that the, like, I always feel like people's problem with the faith has to do with the church and not the
Yeah.
not the faith itself.
In
You know
a
what I
way.
mean? Because you kind of have to separate that before you can bring it back
Yeah,
together.
I separate the church and the Bible a lot too.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing things by the church. The Bible's
Well, I
kind
mean,
of
like-
gray area.
I mean, like the Bible is a collection of books that the church is like, all right, we will
Basic.
this is the
basis.
compilation of, and like most important
Hmm.
of our texts. So I mean, there had to be an agreement to make those that basically.
Yeah. Tell you this, there's a lot of porn addicts nowadays. There's a lot of sex addicts.
Yeah.
There's people
For
who
sure.
want to have a lot of polygamy in their relationship.
Dude, I can't imagine. I honestly, they're just
Could
like,
never do that.
right?
And a lot of cheating too.
Yeah.
More than ever, just because.
Thankfully, at least as far as I
online
know,
dating.
I've never been cheated on.
Yeah, it's like you think about it,
Right.
you don't really know.
Yeah, it happened. It just seems so commonplace when you like when you're looking at stuff on the internet.
Mhm.
That like, even at one point, you're just like, it could be happening to me. Could.
You could, yeah.
Yeah. You stop thinking with reason at that point too, and you get doubt. The smallest seed of doubt
Mhm.
can break someone if they
Turns-
let it.
Turns into your anxiety, and
Right.
then you're just like, because that's the one thing. Like, I'm not gonna. I'll never fuck. I won't say I'll never cheat, but like I'll never fucking cheat. You know, like
I know. I never will. I
Yeah.
could never do it.
it would hurt me. It would like physically. I would just think of like I just look at God. I'm like, okay, this is not right,
Definitely not going to be happy with you doing that.
dude. Like that's why I had to bring the church back into it, because like that's the basis for everything.
Right.
I'm not gonna cheat because that's against whatever.
For the longest time, I've been looking back on myself, and it's like, how can I say I believe
Mhm.
and I'm not practicing, and
Yes.
I'm not praying, and I'm not worshiping?
You're
Because
watching
if I'm
porn.
yeah, if I'm accepting that as my reality, I should be adhering to the
Mhm.
rules of that reality. And
feel-
like,
Ooh.
I'm not. No, are we
Should I
losing it?
Pop in another one. Got another battery.
Yeah, I got more in me.
Yeah, me too.
So what are you gonna put for visuals during this dark section of the cast? I guess I mean like everyone can just listen to the sound of my voice alone. Hello, listeners. This is John Core, aka the Green Goat, aka JC Panic. It really just depends on what medium you are viewing or experiencing me from. Just want to say thank you for listening to me and Tyler shoot the breeze. It's a fun time. I always say that I hate podcasts, but I love being on them. I definitely do. I actually just
I
really
love both.
I actually really enjoy I enjoy listening to podcasts that my friends are on.
Hmm?
Like
Yeah, I like listening to my friends.
yeah, it's like you can have a conversation with them but really just listening. There's no chance for your
Listening in.
response. And then I have
Listening in.
so much to say to you afterwards.
Yeah.
It's a
I
good
want all
thing.
my friends
It's
to
a good
do 'em.
thing. Like podcasts do suck, but like I don't know.
They're only as good as you make them.
Exactly. It's kind of like, okay, so there was this game that me and my friends would play. They called it Hotel Corey, named after me. Because it originally was played at my parents' house when we were like in high school.
Mhm.
And it would be one person would be hotel manager and the rest would be guests. And you would have a single light on in the room. Just depending on how big your play field basically is. But usually all the guests are sitting on one couch together. The manager is standing next to the only light switch that is on. They'd say like, welcome to Hotel Corey. Thank you so much for staying with us. Especially since we've been receiving a lot of nasty rumors about, disappearances and murders happening in the building. Really appreciate you staying with us. And just depending on whatever scenario the guests wish to play out, they can do whatever they want. They can act and talk however they want. And then the manager will be like, yeah, anyway, breakfast is at 7 a.m. sharp. Good night. and will turn the light off. It is now completely pitch black. The manager will then act as some evil or malevolent force, murderer, monster,
Whoa.
and kill or attempt to kill the guests.
What the fuck?
This is like an acting experience,
Like
basically.
a role play thing?
Yeah.
Did you invent this?
Yes.
Nice.
So you really have to get into it in order to have fun with it. Or otherwise, you're just going to... If you're going to be like that fucking stick in the mud that's like, this is so stupid. You're not going to have fun. But like, I play like with like Richard and Jimmy. Like they definitely... the boys would get into it. And you can have a lot of fun with it. There was one where I was a guest. I can't remember who was the manager, but we were all acting like we were bodybuilders for a bodybuilding convention.
Nice.
And then like as we're all dying, being killed by this monster, we confess to each other that we've been using anchor arms, like from SpongeBob.
Damn.
Like the fake muscles.
Yep.
Yeah. And like that was fun for us.
That does, yeah. I mean, role playing with your friends adds like a whole new vibe to it, because like it's all in the imagination.
There's my favorite story that my friend would tell is that him and another friend are hiding upstairs in the house that we were playing in at the time, and I was the manager. And I was just crawling on the floor and like clawing at people to kill them, and I couldn't find them. I was like, I didn't think about going upstairs, and I just hear one of them from upstairs go, "Yep," and he said from his perspective, he went, "Yep," and then he heard. As I was crawling quickly up the stairs to come after them, he said, damn near shit himself.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. And they were like hiding in the corner trying to push each other in front of the other to avoid dying.
I like this. It sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a very fun experience.
But yeah, those people that you need to like force into character, it's like, dude, just play along.
Yeah, it's like we're having fun. We're drunk.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm pretty sure almost every time we were pretty sober when we played. But the first time we ever played, it was high school. Last time we ever played, we were probably like 24.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like better than playing video games together.
Right, yeah.
Just because me, like I could just sit. Like my favorite thing is just to sit and talk to people. It's like we don't have to be fucking doing anything.
Right.
We could just be doing
Yeah,
this.
we should. It's how you know that you are. Someone said like when you know you're in a good relationship when you can both shut the fuck up and enjoy time together.
Yes.
But like you should be able to enjoy being in the presence of your friends and that alone. Like that alone. And like it doesn't mean that you can't do things and like, form experiences and have memories by doing things with your friends, but like it's definitely a good feeling that you can just sit down and talk to your friend and that's enough.
Problem is everyone just wants to get on their phone and fuck around with stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I see when I'm hanging out with people.
It's like their heads are somewhere else.
Yeah. They don't mean to do it. But like when I make it a point, like I'm not going to sit with my friends and be on my phone. And then when I see someone pull it out, I'm like, what's so important? Like why? Just in a bar scene, I guess. But
right.
I think me and the people I hang out with at the open mics are sort of in the same... They're on the same page with that. Like, I never see these people have their phones out.
Something I've been meaning to ask you is that when you have comedians on, do you usually still feel like they're trying to spin a bit on the mic with you? Like
Some do.
During the cast, yeah.
And I can tell right away, usually.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you like lay into them a little bit for it?
No, I just let it happen.
Right.
It depends on the bit. Like, is it a complete joke or is it like a true story?
Gotcha.
If it's like a story, it's like, okay, you're just retelling it.
Yeah.
I don't like that style. Like I want you to just come on and have a conversation.
That's fair.
No bits. Because it depends. Like some people will go on to like popular podcasts and just do bits, like because they feel like they have to be super entertaining because they now have this. They're on a platform now.
Right.
So
something I keep thinking about is that
it's a people pleasing thing.
During the second time I was on the cast, you mentioned someone's name, and at the time you weren't at good standing with them, so you bleeped it out. And I have just been like, I want to be bleeped out at one point.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't want to be.
Why?
If I bleep you out and we're not on good terms, then why would you want that?
No, I just mean about saying something in general.
Oh, like if I'm quoting you?
Maybe.
If
Or
I
I'm
were
just
to,
like, I'm eat my ass, and then you just bleep out ass. That's what I mean. I would just
Oh.
like to hear myself get bleeped out.
oh, I see.
I feel like sometimes it is funnier when a swear word is bleeped out.
Yeah, it hits a little differently. Yeah, I do that more on reels. Like I leave the podcast usually uncensored,
Right.
but a reel I'll bleep it out. Yeah, it adds that little effect to it. I don't know if that was you who were saying that, but like bleeping does make it kind of funnier.
I don't think I've ever mentioned it before, but I've always thought that. I think if you frame it correctly, the bleeping can be funnier. It's usually like if you're in a situation where you definitely shouldn't be cursing
Yeah.
and you get bleeped out, that's funnier than just like. The only other time you could make it funny when you're in a situation where you can't curse is if like you say it, the curse itself is very loud and everything else is quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be spontaneous.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
the best way. You can't really force shit or it doesn't like just seems weird. But
Yeah.
sit. What did you just say? Oh yeah, I like to keep this kind of like the Wild West. You know, like I'll bleep out names here and there, but like usually just let shit go.
Right.
Say like I don't have anything to hide.
And I don't have anything to hide for myself. I definitely don't want to dox people.
Yeah,
So like,
I just do that for safety.
right.
Privacy.
I will say this, like I mentioned Jimmy, so might as well I'll give him a little plug in. Listen to Unrivaled on Spotify,
There
Apple
you go.
Music, whatever. That is Unrivaled. They have a Halloween album that came out last year. The hit song on that for me, or the two hit songs on that are Fiction and Terror Time, which is a cover of that Scooby-Doo song from Zombie Island.
I don't know it.
It's terror time again. They got you running through the night. That song. You've never seen Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island?
Don't remember the song.
It's like a montage
Is
while
that
they're
a
running
cartoon?
away from zombies.
Scooby-Doo?
Yeah. You're thinking of Spooky Island.
I'm
The
not
live action
thinking
one.
of
Oh, okay.
anything. Like I don't remember much.
Have you
about
seen the live
anything.
action Scooby-Doos?
Yeah,
They're kind of ass, but
They're
I
dumb.
enjoy them.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're more of like cabin in the woods vibes. Like
In a way, yeah. I really like the scene where they come across this video. It's teaching monsters how to act like humans. And it's like, this is what not to do. And these guys like bump into each other. He's like, oh, sorry, man. He's like, I will crush your bones into
Yeah.
dust. And they're like, let's see how it should go. It's like they bump into each other. Like, hey, I'm sorry, man. It's like,
yeah,
it's whatever. My G or something like that. He's like, hey, did you catch that sports ball game on the blah blah? And he's like, yeah, I am up to snuff on all current trends. And he just turns to the camera and goes, word.
it gets very meta.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool. Now when it comes to that sort of stuff like TV, movies,
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch it, and anything I have watched, I forget it unless it's something I watched over and over and over. I have a strange memory.
Are you a fan of Rick and Morty at all?
Yeah.
When I was in Chicago, I became acquainted with someone who told me that her favorite show was Rick and Morty. And I was thinking about it, and
Kind
I
of
was trying
basic.
to explain, that I hate the fan base of Rick and
Yeah,
Morty,
that's what. Yeah, I don't.
but I enjoy the show enough. And they were asking me they're asking me to explain it, and I was like, I don't know how other than to just say
Yeah.
it's cringe.
Cringe, bro. Yes.
It's really
I hate when the
cringe.
fan base is so cringe it almost hurts the art. I hate that shit.
Yeah, and I know there's another thing that's like that, but I just can't
Yeah.
remember it right now.
There's a lot of shit.
I feel like anime does that too. Anime does that a
Yeah.
lot.
I think a lot of Tyler the Creator's new fans are like that in a way.
Oh gosh, dude, I miss old Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have to evolve.
I get it, and he did the right thing, and I'm not saying he
He's
shouldn't
back
have
to
done
rapping,
it.
dude. I feel like he got rappers rapping again after that album.
Honestly, I liked that. It's how rap should be. Rap should be rap. You know what I mean?
Lyrical.
I mean, but then you look at the album that Roadkill and I released, and I'd say we are rapping in it, but we definitely didn't
Yeah.
do any kind of like traditional form.
Rap is so like hard to pinpoint. 'Cause
Right.
What are you going for? Like you're trying to have these triple double entendres, like make people think, or you're just trying to make a club banger.
Right.
It's
Have
so,
you listened to the album?
Yeah,
Drop Die Dangle?
I listened a couple times.
You have
I like the first song.
That would be Mastercraft News.
Yeah, I like the hook on that.
Really?
Just
See,
the
like,
production on the whole thing was good.
yeah, that's Roadkill.
Yeah, he's good.
So like when we did that part, Mastercraft Noose, let me drop, die, dangle, fucking cut me loose. I was visiting. This was whenever it dropped. That's when I was in Chicago. The day it dropped, or maybe like the day before it dropped. We're in Chicago. We hadn't even had that song started, and he was like, "We need a hook." And I was like, man, I just can't write a hook for rap. I can write one in metal. And then like I did one and I was like, I just grabbed the mic and went, Mastercraft Noose, Mastercraft Noose. And he was like, I like that. And I was like, really?
Yes.
So then we did, I think it's 3 tracks layering on top of each other. So I did the and then the
Yeah, that's why makes
then-
it hit so hard.
and then I think I did a really deep like Mastercraft News, and that layered properly and became the final product. And he did some mixing on it.
Sounds great.
Yeah, and I was like, this feels just so weird being in a rap song. All of our tracks are a little odd,
Yeah.
but like I think it came together. I mean I enjoy listening to my own stuff because it's like this is what I made.
There's so much overlap with rap.
Right. It's the first time though that we've released something and I'm like not hypercritical on myself. There is a part that Roadkill is like keeps kicking themselves for. There is one song and he says, walk a mile in these Medusa boots, you'll be dead within a mile.
I like that.
I mean, yeah, I was like, it doesn't sound that bad, but they were beating themselves up about it for a little while.
It's poetic to me. As long as the line hits like in a weird, like you can view it in a poetic sense, then it's good.
Yeah.
Like it stands alone. It makes, because now I'm picturing the boots, the Medusa boots.
Mm-hmm.
So he does a good job of like illustrating things. That's really what it's all about. If you can picture, if you're good at making people picture what you're talking about, that's really all that matters.
One thing I really like about how Roadkill writes and spits is that there's just portions where they will just like they have something like really emotionally charged and they'll kind of eschew the flow a bit to just get it out. And
Well, you said it was more of a punk type of vibe.
Yeah, like
offbeat.
You can feel. I'll even quote the part that I like when they're like, "I know your mom and your grandma. We have matching tattoos. I haven't cut my hair in years. I'm still loyal to you. You can take the city. I'll run to the hills. Just want you to know I never wanted to take those fucking pills." And like it definitely didn't adhere to the flow, but like it was charged. It made an imprint.
Because you knew what he was talking about, or
that
just the
too,
sound of...
but like I'm just talking about the energy put into it.
I kind of like that he does that. In a way, I was like, I viewed it as, oh, he's like a white rapper, so he doesn't really have flow. But he's purposely doing
Roadkill
it.
does have flow, but just sometimes purposely throws it out so they can get
to know that was done on purpose
to make an intentional impression there.
Makes me like it more.
Right. They're doing it on purpose because it stands out more.
Yeah, the punk aspect.
Well, I feel like I almost never do, and I can't stand to do it. So
yeah,
it's just not my forte.
Me too. It all has to fucking flow. It all has to sound like I'm a rapper.
A lot of times when we would make music together, I would get so mad because you would just be like, "I'm jacking my peen and I'm blowing it," and that. But there's the one time when we made Pilot, and
you're mad that my lyrics were like childish or whatever.
Maybe a little bit, but like when we did Pilot, your stuff was immaculate, and your flow was amazing, and like it almost seemed like you didn't put any time into it either.
It all comes down to writing.
Yeah, like Slopes Like Alaska, sniffing coke off the casket. That's why I'm late for my classes. Filled the tray with some ashes.
I wrote the fuck out of that.
Dude. I love the I'm flyer than a maggot, like that, all that
flyer than a maggot.
Yeah. It felt like I imagine every time I listen to that part, you're just like putting your hands up in the air like than a maggot. Like
yeah. Dude, yes, because when I write it all is a flow. Everything I'm saying is a flow. I can forget about the flow entirely, come back to it, read it, and I pick it straight back up again. I'm like, this is how it has to be said.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel it.
Right.
I know how it has to be said. I need to write more. It pisses
Right.
me off.
Yeah.
I've been freestyling shit.
So, I know I go by John Core on the casts, but on the rap side of things, I've actually changed my stage name to Green Goat.
Green Goat.
Just like that's my name for Armored Combat. I think it just really suits me. I didn't have to. I didn't think of it up. Someone called me the Green Goat, and I've been the Green Goat since. Which I preferred that. Yeah.
I think you have to pick a name and stick with it though.
Yeah, I think I finally found it.
That's good.
Then again, like look at Tyler the Creator and how many times he's changed his name or like given himself a different nickname.
Yeah, well, he does like alter ego kind of thing.
Right.
Which is cool too.
I guess you could say. But I mean, like we released that EP as Roadkill Christ and Green Goat, so
Yeah, not John Core.
not John
Or
Core.
JC Panic.
JC Panic. I mean, I'm all of those things, but I think Green Goat will be the standing name or like the standout name now.
Yeah, I don't really like Musty. I like the River part, but not the Musty part.
Right.
At some point, I want to cut that out and just be like River Tyler or something.
I like
that.
River Tyler.
But the Musty part, it means something. I gotta like get through the mustiness, and then I'm no longer musty because I'm rich now, bitch. Fuck you.
Right. Did Musty come from Tyler the Creator?
In a weird way, like I was coming up with a Twitter name,
Yeah.
and he would say Musty a lot.
He would say, Musty.
Yeah.
I loved it. Loiter
Back in
Squad,
his Vine days.
dude. Loiter Squad. I
That was a gem.
still love that show. Roadkill and I were watching it when I was just last in Chicago.
We're blessed to have that thing.
Dude, oh my gosh, it is timeless.
It is
Oh,
better than Jackass.
Yeah, for sure. It's just funnier. Like the skits are funnier. Like Jackass is funny to a degree, but then also it's just like, okay, they're beating themselves up.
Literally. Yeah.
There was a part in the newest Jackass movie that I thought was absolutely hilarious. Is when they put Aaron and Rab, I believe, in a room with no lights.
Yeah.
And they just
mouse traps.
started messing with them. Yeah, and then they opened up the door for them to escape, and it was filled with mouse traps and shit that was swinging. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that movie felt like filler stuff,
Right. Yeah.
but it was cool to see it.
But on the Loiter Squad, like Mike G, the detective, like that skit kills me.
Forever.
The Real Housewives parody, where it's like, you're gonna bring me a birthday gift on my birthday to my birthday party with the birthday gift. I send that to Jordo every year on his birthday, and I'm pretty sure he does it to me too.
Yep.
It's the perfect like happy birthday thing.
See, that show is totally like imprinted in my brain. I can think of exactly what you're talking about.
There's like parts of me that have been altered by that show, like have influenced me. Like when I'm acting silly and I want to like just yell out a curse word and I'm like, shit. Like that. Imagine, I feel like that comes from like the Loiter Squad attitude. Yeah.
But yeah, I have a weird memory, but certain things will like just, I can remember that scene, that show, I can picture it. And it comes down to like, if I don't like something, I don't fucking like it. And I'm not even going to try to like it. Like, I just know if I'm not interested in it, it's fucking done. Because there's too many things that I'm interested in that I need to know more about.
Yeah.
So, you got a big-ass TV.
I do have a big-ass TV, yeah.
I pretty much do what you're doing right now every night. Just, like, sit on the couch with the TV off.
Yeah.
And I'm just, like, okay with it. I might, like, screw around on my phone.
But if I'm in a position like this, I'm usually writing my book. I don't know if I talked about. I did. I read a piece of my book last cast.
The poetry book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you want to hear a new one?
Yeah, why not?
It's been getting way better.
It's good that you're writing.
Yeah, it's a good way to get like bad feelings out. And
it's
whatnot.
not gonna get done unless you do it.
Right. So The one thing I was explaining this to somebody recently, I was like, this book is such a it is basically taking like the things that I hide deepest inside, like the most private, intimate parts of me, and I'm laying them bare. And I haven't.
The cool thing though is people don't see them as bare. It's kind of like abstract.
Right.
So to you, you're fucking pouring your heart out, but then it's not like cringe, you know?
Right. So like it's difficult a lot of times for me to share these things.
Yeah.
But I haven't shared like my feelings and faced them and accepted them for so long that it's almost liberating when I share these writings. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give a warning that this thing I'm about to read, it's pretty short, but it is pretty heavy. So
Lay it on me.
content
I
warning.
probably won't get it right away.
You're good. Numb to the pain soaking the chambers of my heart, striking fists against the stone that surrounds, I exsanguinate self. My future is red. The throne is claimed as the suffering constructs its palace in my soul. Satisfaction as the scarlet rain meets the water below. My future is red. Crimson motes take flight in a storm of dissent. Their voices are whispers bouncing off the walls. The future is red. Slowly, the sanguine rain will cease to produce. Until then, the deluge continues from mutilated hands thundering against my enclosure. My future is dead. The final trace of light takes its leave from the heavens, the realm now under an umbral mantle of sightless oblivion. Slamming my skull into the circumscribing fortification, slowly closing in around me. My future is dead. The hue of the pool below uniting with the sky in a sickening shift, howling into the night as the sun sets on my anguishing existence. The future is dead.
Now, that one I did get.
Yeah.
That one was pretty like bare bones.
Yeah.
But a lot of good description.
That was basically, there's two big major points, and was not only I was in a bad spot when I wrote that. I was it felt like I was in the bottom of a well,
Future is red.
thrashing. Yeah, because I'm bleeding myself out. I'm thrashing about in this small enclosure. I'm desperately just trying to make something. You know what I mean? Like I'm desperately trying to find absolution, and that is my frustration, is because I'm not finding it. I feel trapped. And then the other one is, as I shifted from my future is red, the future is red, my future is dead, the future is dead, is my perspective, as I'm kind of criticizing myself, as I have only been focusing on me, I've been doing nothing but thinking of myself and not of myself and everything around me as a whole. So when I'm saying the future is dead, is my perspective shifting to my perspective and myself is the only thing that matters, and that is just not true, and I shouldn't be thinking that way.
I get that way a lot, like selfish.
Yeah, it's like, imagine like my experience right now in reality is the reality, is the only thing that matters, and it is everything in the grand scheme. And it's definitely not the truth. I'm just a speck.
Yeah.
And when
you look at it that way,
while I do have significance, there's just more to it than me, and I need to. I'm acknowledging that.
Yeah, and again, it's like your life though.
Right, for sure.
So it's hard to not be. Dang, you just reminded me. Oh yeah, so it's like I feel like I do a lot of things, but really all I'm doing is like reading, and it's all done in my brain.
Right.
So I feel like I've learned all this stuff, and I feel like I have the knowledge to go out and put it into work.
Yeah.
But what I'm lacking is the action, right? The real work is not even being done. It seems like I've done so much, but I just was like studying in a way.
Right. Yeah. It's a long journey. It
Trying
always
to be
is.
more action based.
Yeah.
That's
Action,
where-
not reaction.
That too.
Yeah.
That's where it all comes out. The action. That's how you get good at shit.
Intention, too. Tension.
Good intentions.
Right. I've heard somewhere that like when it comes to faith, when it comes to Catholicism, that intention is everything.
Yes.
You need to have, you don't do something because you should be doing something because you intend to do so for a good reason.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Or like if you're going to confess your sins, like you're doing it because you're actually sorry for it.
Yeah, you're not like doing lip service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something that I learned from my dad, that I was talking to the person who I came into contact recently, who wants to like help reintegrate me into the Catholic community.
Yeah.
That you can't receive the Eucharist unless you're in a state of grace.
Damn.
So like you need to go to confession before you can even do that.
Holy crap.
It's like I missed church So I need to go to confession before I can receive the Eucharist again.
Yeah. Well, you
So,
have
like,
to go for a lot of
Well,
reasons.
yeah. Oh, for sure. And like, I feel like when you're not in a state of grace, that it can also just be a judgment call from your end. I definitely shouldn't. I don't think I'm in a state of grace right now. But
I don't think you should skip the Eucharist. That's like the most
no,
important
I'm
part of the
not
church.
saying. Well, not saying like I'm going to skip it every
Mass.
time. But like, if I'm not in a state of grace, I have to.
I think that is your grace, though, because that's God going inside of you.
In a way,
that
yeah.
might be what gives you the grace.
It's just a rule.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah. Apparently, not a lot of Catholics do know it. Is what I'm
It
told.
seems like something they would be against. Like, always get the Eucharist,
Yeah.
That is your grace.
I don't know.
That's how I would see it.
Right. But yeah, I definitely need to go to confession. I haven't gone
Yeah,
to confession since
That's
I
me
was
too.
a child.
Holy
I think,
shit.
like CCD. I still need to get confirmed.
What?
Yeah, that's something I always forget to mention to people. I still need to get confirmed. My parents never signed me up for it when I was a kid, so
I'll be honest, I'm confirmed, but I don't know what it really means or does.
I'm pretty sure confirmation is just like is officially like you are a part of the church. You are a Catholic.
Yeah, I think the biggest sacrament was like First Communion.
What is your? Yes, I've had First Communion.
Yeah.
What is your confirmation name?
I didn't really pick one. I just went with. So you didn't even have to pick one, but in my head I'm like Mike or Michael.
Right.
But I don't really have one. Because my uncle Mike was my, what do you call it, sponsor, I guess, for confirmation. Yeah, they didn't make that like a big deal of ours.
I think I'll just end up taking a saint's name that I really like connect with and just go with that. So it'd probably be Saint Peter.
My middle name is a saint's name, and your first name is a saint's name. So
yeah, I was named after John the Baptist.
Okay.
Yeah, my
different John than the Gospel. Or is that the same John?
No, I think they're
Matthew,
different.
Mark, Luke, John.
No, that's different.
That's what I thought.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, both my great grandfathers were named John.
It's a very common name.
Well,
and then you rename your kids.
My great
John.
grandfather from Lebanon was named Hannah, and he changed his name to John when he came to America. Changed our last name too. We weren't Corey originally.
Shit. Yeah, it's weird how that works. We could just like change our last names, and then our family was just now different.
My dad says that our name used to be Atia,
That's nuts.
and then it was like changed to Khori or something of that nature, and then changed to Corey when he landed in Ellis Island, so that we wouldn't get
when you
discriminated against.
Americanized it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. You could just change your name, and then like your future generations now have this name.
Right.
Like I don't even know where mine came
I mean,
from.
and it's funny. It's like I always tell people, like, yeah, I'm Lebanese. I'm mostly Lebanese. Look at me. Don't look like it though. Then people are like, I could see it in your hair, but like,
I don't even know what that would look like.
right. I have a Lebanese friend, a buddy. I haven't really seen him. I think I've met him once.
He's a buddy.
He's like a buddy of a buddy, basically. And he is Lebanese, and he definitely looks at more than I do. I've got you look at my skin, it's my mom's German side coming through.
You could say that. You could say it.
What?
The word.
No, you can't.
No. I know a guy who's pretty much white, but he's what the fuck is it? He just says it though. What is it? What is he? He looks like a white man, but he's like I just forgot it. Dang it. Either way.
Is it a racial thing?
What do you mean?
Like what you're trying to say, the word that you're looking for?
Yeah, well, it's like where his parents are from or some shit. But he looks like a white dude. But he doesn't claim like white. He's like, I'm this. It's gone now. I already lost.
Is he claiming an ethnicity but not a race, basically?
What, isn't that the same?
No. I don't know enough, honestly,
I don't
about
either.
it to.
I don't either.
I'm not gonna make any claims or
funny,
anything, because someone's gonna hop on me and be like, "Yeah, John, you're wrong. You're an idiot. It's this, and I'm not gonna even risk that.
Fuck it. I risk it because I'll always say this, like I'm constantly figuring it out, trying to be better, It's like you can't be perfect, but that's just what I'm striving for.
Speaking of striving for things, have you been to the gym recently?
I've been working out from home.
Hell yeah.
I took a couple days off though, getting fat, so I don't know.
Yesterday I went to a different gym, a new gym.
Yeah.
My buddy John took me to this like healthplex kind of like club thing. Had like basketball courts,
Sports club.
a pool. Yeah, it had a pool. The pool had slides, had water slides.
Yeah, Cameron's part of something
It had like
that.
multiple floors. It was it's expensive as hell, but I
Where's
got
it
in
at?
with a guest pass. We did some chest and tries and stuff like that.
Where is it?
He drove me there. It's up north somewhere.
Okay.
A bit of a drive up north.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool places like that, but it's like what, like $100 a month or something.
Yeah,
shit like
something
that.
roughly like that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
My gym's like $10 a month, and I don't even go.
My normal gym is like 37.
Mm.
And I need to cancel that membership because as much as I love going there and I have a lot of buddies there and whatnot, I haven't been there.
Yeah.
My ex goes there.
Definitely need to change.
Yeah, and I haven't been going there because I've been just doing other things in replacement of training in a gym.
Yeah.
I want to go back and train more in a gym, but not that one, unfortunately. At least not now.
I'm trying to go all in on the MMA thing, just like,
Yeah.
well, it's more about knowledge, and then I can practice the drills on a bag or whatever, and then spar with people and shit.
We can do that.
I'm trying to go all in, but just become a fucking, I want to say like a demon, but just become a fucking monster, you know? So I can really protect myself and my
I mean,
lady.
there's a confidence that comes with that kind of strength.
It's
too.
true.
So
The fact
good
that
feeling.
you know you can just defend yourself, beat the shit out of somebody.
Right. I feel like in a public setting, like it's like in a bar setting, I'm definitely willing to grab a chair. Like I don't like if someone is being disrespectful and attacking me, I'm not going to eschew my safety for some sense of like I have to beat this person with my hands.
Yeah, that's how I would be. Like I'm gonna box him.
I'd rather be alive than honorable.
The best you could do is run.
Point in that situation.
The best you could do is run.
Right. Or just not get into the situation whatsoever.
And hopefully there's not a woman there.
Yeah.
Because if there is, you have to fucking beat his ass in front of her. Because if he beats your ass in front of her, she will never forget that.
Right.
That's something you gotta be careful about.
I've never been in that situation, so I don't really know much about it.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't.
Me neither. But I do. When I drink, I do fuck with people more than I should. Luckily, it's just little young kids that I'm fucking with, not children, but college kids.
Right.
And I'll beat their ass. So like, but I'm lucky though, because if it wasn't like Mount Adams, if I was in OTR instead, and I was doing dumb shit, obviously you can get shot, but like get fucking.
You're in Mount Adams.
Get fucking jumped.
You mess around in the Mount Adams scene. What's that like?
They do open mic there, but I was up there for no reason at all. I left a comedy show up there and then went to cross the street. They do like just loud EDM music, but it's mainly just young college kids.
You ever been to the Pavilion?
Yeah, well,
it's where my ex.
The Pavilion.
Pavilion. There's like a place called Pavilion
I think
in Mount
it's
Adams.
on that street.
That's where my ex-girlfriend used to go, like all the time, and like would go with her friends.
It's all young kids.
A lot, yeah. It's kids who aren't old enough to drink.
Yeah.
And exactly. She'd always go there, and I was just like, I don't know. That was like coming up to the point where we were about to break up, and she was spending a lot of time with, like these like friends that she'd started hanging out with, and I was like, well, I see this relationship going. She's like clinging on to them.
Yeah.
And she was like, I always felt like she was codependent, so she was moving away from being codependent with me and being codependent with one of those friends. Mm-hmm. And, like, I was getting mad because she was spending, like, less time with me and whatnot. But, man, that was a bad relationship. That was a bad one.
You must have to know the art of manipulation to, like, defend yourself from that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, like, I desire no manipulation whatsoever.
You don't want to, end. But if you're going to do it for good.
Right. Yeah.
But you also want to learn it so you can, like, when you see it, you can defend it.
Yeah, and you know when to step away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to be friends with a psychopath.
Damn, we ran out of battery completely, didn't we?
I think so.
How long have we been running for?
140.
Think
Is that long?
I mean, I remember at one
That's
point
longer than regular.
when we were doing the Sick to Death casts, we were like, in the beginning, we were
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, we need to, I was like, we need to push on and we need to break the record. And then the last Sick to Death cast, we broke the record by a long shot. We didn't even realize it.
Right. And I know you like to sit down and do the long ones, so I'm just like, fuck it, you let it happen. You know?
Right. But if you want to wrap this up, we can save more for a different cast.
Yeah.
I've got so much more, but I ain't trying to Joe Rogan experience this and make this fucking 3 hours.
Feel that. I just want to say I wanted to say so much, but today I've just been like cloudy. I don't know what it was.
That's fine. Then we can leave it at that instead of trying to grasp like through the fog.
But it was a much needed chat.
For sure. Definitely want to reiterate since we're wrapping up that like, you know, be good, stick to your principles, learn discipline. You know what I mean?
Be a masculine man of God.
There you go. Yeah.
Boom. That might be the brand.
Like, you know, you need to not only be self-aware, but you also need to know when to reach out to your community. And yeah, you know, like I always saw like I always felt like I spread myself too thin with how many friends I interact with constantly, and like, but I'm blessed to have that big of a pool of people who are there to support me.
And they stick around even when you are being a not so good friend. Like
right, exactly.
They're still there.
And
for
like you should never like write a friend off because you haven't seen them in a while and like thinking like, well, they're not putting the effort in, so why should I? But like it's always going to take somebody putting in the effort. One side has to.
Yeah.
And just know that, like, you know, like everyone's different.
Some people are like me and just shitty at forming relationships.
Right. So it's like just be there, reach out no matter what. If they matter to you, you should just reach out. And the only time you shouldn't is if it's a detrimental to you and like to your mental health and whatnot.
Yeah, you know who's good and who's bad.
Yeah.
And one thing to add on that is I'm fucking gay. No, I lost it. I lost it.
Well, I guess I'll do the sign off.
Yeah. Wait. Damn it. Yeah, I'm broken right now.
Nah, you're good. I'm
My brain machine
let
broke.
my voice gently guide the listener out. Yeah. Thanks for listening to Musty World
Office Podcast.
Yeah.
Peace.
Me.
That's how